Yeah. Okay, so the creator of the Touhou games is the sole official member of Team Shanghai Alice, and his name is Zun. He is currently getting married, so congratulations. And so basically, he started making games in his college days. He went to a university where there's actually a game-making club called Amusement Makers. And so the first Touhou games were put out while he was still a member of Amusement Makers. And so after he graduated, he took 4 years off of making Touhou games, and then started back making them for Windows instead of the old Japanese PC-98 architecture that he'd been doing before. And so he does basically all of the art, the programming, all of the music, and basically all the story writing. He makes all the characters. He does most of the work that gets the games actually published. And he's known for a number of things, one of which I think the thing that people always find most amusing is that he is a very avid connoisseur of beer. He's actually said in as many words, when he was still updating his blog, this isn't really a Touhou blog, it's a beer blog. And in fact, most of the posts had photos of the beer that he was drinking that time.
Alright, so the main characters, of the 19 games, 17 is the number of official games that Renu Hakare has appeared in. She's the main character. 17 is also the number of official games that Marisaki Nisame, the other main characters, appeared in. She was one behind Renu for the longest time because that one game we don't talk about she wasn't in. But Great Fairy Wars had Marisa without Renu, so it finally brought them into a tie. There's exactly one game, one official game in which neither of them appeared, and it is one of the two games in which the true main character of the series, Ayashami Manu, has been the main playable character. Alright, so this man is completely psychotic. We didn't address that earlier, but it really is. Alright, so the Reitai Sai is an annual convention basically dedicated entirely to Touhou. And the one back in 2010, or was it 2010, saw over 500,000 people at this con for a single franchise.
Which is almost as much as you get at a single day if you know comic market.
Yeah.
Oh, and Reitai Sai is the convention that Zun started to release demos of his games, so that he could get the demo out and then get people's feedback before he released the full version at Comic-Con.
Alright, so at Comic-Con 80, which is one of the more recent Comic-Cons, it wasn't the most recent one, it was one of the more recent ones. 5.73% of the circles at Comic-Con 80 were Touhou circles, which was far and away the largest. I've already forgotten what the second and third largest were, but they were like not even 3%. So as Comic-Con is getting closer and closer to being dominated by Touhou, I guess Reitai Sai isn't enough to contain this fandom. There are 3 men currently cross-dressing. That's how you know it's psychotic. Okay, Pixiv. Pixiv, for those of you who don't know, is the Japanese DeviantArt. Miyazaki-san posts a lot of his art on Pixiv. And we were thinking one day a couple years ago, I want to look at some other fandoms, see how Pixiv has a tagging system. You can search by series, you can search by name, you can search by style of clothing, that sort of thing. We figured, let's look at some well-known franchises, some popular ones. Like Pokemon. As of our last look, which I assume was recent as of this weekend, I think, there were approximately 315,000 images on Pixiv tagged with the Pokemon tag. So I think, well, what else can we get? There's Vocaloid. There's 7 bajillion Vocaloid tags, because Pixiv users can't make up their mind, I guess. And they combine to be about 320,000 images tagged with some Vocaloid tag. I think, well, we got Pokemon, we got Vocaloid, what else is popular? But Natalia. And we checked that, there are approximately 361,000 Natalia tagged images. So between all 3 of those series, Pokemon, Vocaloid, Natalia, there are about 1 million tagged images of all 3 of those combined. Touhou alone is 210,000 more than that. There's also, in the copyright category of Danmu, which has basically come to be known as Touhou Image Dump Site for North America, because that's basically what it is now. Within the copyright category, which is essentially the franchise category, it also has tags like original, if they're original characters. There are about 256,000 images tagged with Touhou tag. And the second place is the original tag, which is about a quarter of them. That's about a third of that. So it's completely taken over Danmu as well. What else is there? Third place was Vocaloid with about 45,000. And fourth place was Madoka, which was actually very surprising last time we updated this. Madoka's a very recent thing, but it's already overtaken.
Madoka took off in popularity like nobody's business.
It really did. It immediately shot past like Haruhi, Pokemon, Italia, and it's already there at fourth place. It's done very well for itself. Alright. So when we were making this, I was thinking character appearances. Since Mountain of Faith. Since Mountain of Faith was kind of, sort of, not really, but a little bit of a story reset. In that we went back to two main characters and it introduced Sanai, who became a main character of her own. So certain characters have appeared a certain number of times since, including Mountain of Faith. Sanai herself has appeared in 6 games since then. That was the game we showed earlier, was Touhou 10. And we've moved up to Touhou 13 at this point. Nemo has appeared in 7. And Mighty Assembly has appeared in all 8, and yes, there are 8 games between Touhou 10 and Touhou 13 inclusive. This is some new math I've never seen before. So I'm thinking, well, these 3 are the obvious 3. Let's see who else has been in the game since then. 4.5 of those games.
Why 4.5?
That was a good question. There was a reason for that. Oh, it was Miso Tensoku is the half. Because I was in it, but just not in it. There's been two games. Sorry, Sakuya fan, she's only appeared twice since Mountain of Faith. And Yomu, as of 10 Desires, has appeared 3 times. Sorry, Sakuya fans, Yomu has appeared 1 Sakuya. Why did that stop? Yes, Sakuya fans, even Gogasa has appeared more than Sakuya has since Mountain of Faith. I'm so sorry.
And every time was a surprise.
Yeah. It was actually, when she first appeared, she was the second stage boss, so the gimmick was surprising and she wasn't very good at it. But then she ended up being the extra stage mid-boss, which no one saw coming. And then, in fact, and since Zoom tends to not reuse characters too much outside of the really core main ones, so we tend to get new characters every game. And so we're playing along in 10 Desires, which was the next game after the first game Kogasa showed up in. And we're playing along, we get to stage 3, and all of a sudden she's the mid-boss there as well. So she actually managed to one-up herself. It's surprising. So she's actually done a good job of it recently. Let me do that. Alright, we're going to end Touhou by the numbers with a little guess along. I'll give you a number, I want to see if you can figure out why this number is important. Why do you think 5 is important? You were given this earlier in the panel, by the way, a couple times. It's the number of magic stones, yes. They're very important, don't forget it. Alright, next one should be nice and easy. Can anyone tell me why this number is important? It's the number of bronze tails. By the way, all the time folks, that's spoiling. And the most important number is 0. And it's true, it is the number of monsters in some game. It's also the chances that Mima ever appears in another game. Sorry, George. I will never live this down for being a Mima cosplayer. That's what you get. Alright, what's your next? You think we got
a little bit about the official website.
Okay, I see one.
Yeah, okay. We don't have any nice pictures for this bit, do we?
Well, we asked you earlier if you wanted. You said you didn't really need any, so.
Oh, I thought the stuff from before was still on there, so we can just pretend that we're looking at Zune image numbers and stuff. So, aside from the games, Zune has also done a number of other official Touhou works. I think chronologically the first are his music CDs, which started off originally with this nice little thing he released at Comic Cat 67 or 69 or so, which he actually did 2 versions of. It's a bunch of some of his music from one of the amusement makers' side projects he did called Seho, and it had a number of some of his PC-98 music, some of the Scarlet Devil music, and some original tunes. And it came with this story on the liner notes, the first version of which was a rather odd tale about a group of honest men that accidentally found their way into Gensokyo and were one by one killed in mysterious fashions by a bunch of roving clowns. Yes, this is actually what happened. Later, he turns it into basically just a bunch of short essays about different things. After that, the liner notes are about two characters which don't get enough attention. Usami Renko and whatever your name is, Maribel Hearn. Because really, what is her first name supposed to be? Nobody has any idea. Yes, unfortunately, the two characters you can't see up here are Renko and Maribel.
Sorry. Just had to look really loud.
But they live in the outside world in the near future, and for example, Renko is studying the unified theory of physics, so it is clearly in the future. And Maribel has the power to see magical barriers, like the sort that separates Tokyo from the real world. And so their thing is they go off and have all these adventures where they try to investigate various occult phenomena. And they talk about a lot of different philosophical stuff. He did 5 more CDs after that, which were full releases of the soundtracks for his PC-98 games. Okay, so aside from that, Zoo's also done a number of print works. I think the first was called Touhou Bunkacho, Bohemian Archive in Japanese Red, and that was Aya. Aya's actual introduction was that work.